Hello. We are going to a family reunion tomorrow. So we are making two dishes that one is broccoli cheese corn muffins, which my mother made. It wasn't like a long time recipe for her, but it was kind of something she started making, I'd say, in the last 10 to 15 years of her life.
Probably not even that long.
It may not have been. And then we're also making strawberry pies, which my grandma, my mother's mother, Grandma, she always made almost every occasion. So we don't have my mother's recipe. I don't know what recipe she used, so
I had it at one time, but I don't know what happened to it.
Well, we, through internet search, we found one. This one is on allrecipes.com. If I can figure out how, we'll put a link in the description. That's for the broccoli cheddar corn muffins. And then for the strawberry pies, we're going to be using a recipe that, if I'm not mistaken, I've made this recipe before years and years and years ago. But it came out of the Calling All Cooks yellow cookbook. But right now, Cindy is chopping onions. I'm going to chop some broccoli.
And onions are burning my eyes. I'm going to get a bowl. How big a bowl do we need?
I'd say medium size.
We use one of my new bowls.
Okay.
If I can get to them.
I don't know that we would need the biggest one. I think
I don't think we need that. I mean, that looks like about right, probably. Because you don't have that broccoli in there.
That's true. That's true. That's fine. Do you want me to take over the onions and you can chop the broccoli?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Brian.
You got a knife?
Well, I figured I'd use the knife.
You got another knife?
Oh, well, I got this one.
Oh, that one's too much. I'll use this one. I gotta sharpen it too, probably. You didn't.
Didn't what?
It's peach in the butt.
Well, my gracious. We trying to be G-rated. At least PG. But anyway,
this is sharp thing, right? Maybe it's already sharp. I don't know.
the family reunion we are going to is in Troy, Mississippi.
Which is near Pontotoc.
Near Pontotoc.
Which is a little past Tupelo, Mississippi. Which is Elvis's birthplace, by the way.
Well, most people know that, I think. Anyway.
He didn't play it.
This is our grandmother's family, our mother's mother. Our great-grandmother. Is this considered a Davis reunion or Matthews?
They call it the Matthews reunion, which would have been Mama's side,
Yes,
which is
that's
our
what-
great-grandmother. Leela Bell Matthews. Funny thing about her, she dipped snuff, which was commonplace back in the day for.
Yeah.
Because our grandmother was born in 1923. I think it is either 23 or 28.
It's 26 or 29 is what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Let's see. Mama was born in 48.
Yeah.
So what's 22 years minus 48?
Oh gosh. 48, 38, 28. How many years?
22.
26.
Okay, so the grandma was born in 26.
Okay.
Because I know because grandma had my mother when she was 22, and my mother had me when she was 22.
So,
That's
anyway.
how I had to, and I remember for sure Mama's birth year as being 48, so.
Yeah. Well, so Mamaw, gosh, I don't know how old she was because Grandma was technically not the oldest because I think that the one that passed away,
The baby that died
was like
I don't think
born first, maybe.
I was thinking it was somewhere in the between.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow, probably.
But they always called it the baby that died. But I remember, in fact, it came up in my memories on Facebook a while back. I don't get on Facebook that much. But
put that in there,
Bobby Franklin, who should, I'm assuming, will be at this reunion.
He will be, yeah.
He had, I think he just wrote on my wall and said, or maybe it was, anyway, asked me what Grandma's middle name was. And
She didn't have one.
she didn't. But she had told me one time, yeah, maybe you don't even know this, that Mama, Grandma's mother, Mama, we called her Mama, told her one time that her middle name was supposed to be Alice, but it got left off of her birth certificate. And
I might know that, but I might have forgot.
So I remember Bobby asking me about Grandma's middle name. I guess he was doing some kind of family tree or something. And I said, well, I think she said she was supposed to have had one, but it got left off her birth certificate. And this is all happening in comments on Facebook. And I said, I think she told me her middle name was supposed to have been Alice. I said, but I may be getting confused. That may be the baby that died's name. He said, no, the baby that died's name was Ruth.
I thought it was a boy.
Nope. And as soon as he said it, I was like, that is exactly right. The baby that died's name was Ruth.
Well, so Mama dipped snuff.
Oh, yeah.
And she always kept her little snuff tin. It was just a little silver tin. But I'll tell you what, that is one thing I wish that I had of hers. I don't know where it went when she passed away, but that is one thing that I do wish that I had.
Well, something else I'll say about Mama. I remember when Mama died.
Yeah. Lauren was a baby.
Well, one specific thing that I remember was that it was something Mama said, and it stuck with me all these years. So if Lauren was a baby,
Maybe 36 years ago.
I think Alan was a baby, actually, Cindy. Or you were pregnant with Alan.
I was pregnant with Alan. Yeah.
Okay.
I was pregnant. That's right.
So Lauren would have been about 3.
Close to it. Yeah.
But I remember Mama saying at Grandma, either on the way to Mississippi for Mama's funeral, or after we were at the funeral home or something. Anyway, I remember Mama saying, I never heard it before Mama died, but Mama said she never heard Mama say a bad word about anybody. And that has stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I wish that someday somebody could say that about me, but they can't.
Well, I try to live my life that way, but I don't always get it right either.
So, but, I mean, could it be that Mama never said a bad word about anybody?
Or that she just never heard.
Or that Mama's never was around when she did?
Well,
But that has stuck with me all these years.
do you remember? We were actually at a family reunion when this happened. You remember when I was about 15 years old? And Mama told me she wanted me to get married because she wanted to see her 4th generation. And
Big 5th.
Oh yeah, we'll be 5th. Anyway, she wanted me to get married, and At the time, I was too young. I think I was already dating my husband.
You probably
Brian.
were. Y'all started dating. He was 14. You was
Yeah, so that's probably right.
You was either 15 or 16.
No, I think I was 15. Because I don't think I had my license yet. I know I didn't have my license yet. Anyway, so I did end up giving Mama her 5th generation.
Somebody else did too, though. Who else had a baby around the same time? Because I remember at that family reunion after Lauren was born, whatever family reunion we had, the first one after that, where y'all were taking the 5 generation picture, I remember somebody else was having a 5 generation picture with my mom's too.
It might have been Dina, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, we did a 5 generation picture. Mama had Alzheimer's, and I think she knew that was her 5th generation, but she was probably just in one of the lucid moments, because she got to where somebody had to stay with her all the time. And our grandma was one of 10 technically.
Yes.
But only 9 survived. So out of those 9, they all took turns taking, like I think they took a week at a time.
Well, I think a lot of them
Grandma.
did, but Grandma went a lot of weekends because I think Grandma was the only one that was working.
Yeah.
At
Well,
that point,
probably
so-
Linda was probably working.
Yeah.
Grandma, Linda probably stayed at night.
Yeah, because she lived closer.
And
Grandma lived the farthest away, which wasn't that far, but
yeah.
in today's terms, but back then people just didn't drive that far, on any regular basis.
Yeah. I
But
just have to sit down.
yeah, I was gonna say something I forgot about. Oh, and I will tell you, I did home hospice for I forget how many years. And even before that, working in the hospital, which wasn't as big a deal in the hospital, but I never, ever, ever saw any families, no matter how many it was, if it was 1, if it was 10, every single child taking turns, taking part, and taking care of their family member. And to this day, Mama and her kids, Grandma's siblings, are the only family I've ever known of where every single person took their turn and had a hands-on approach. Now, I don't know if the boys did as much technically hands-on, or if it was their wives that helped.
I think it was somewhat
or kind of a
wives.
joint. They did it together.
But there was only 3 boys. I mean,
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I can't think. I don't know who I'm missing. Pete and Dub's the only ones I can think of.
Oh,
That's
Aunt Johnny Mae, who actually just turned 96 years old. And she looks good. Her birthday was this week, actually.
so. You think, is she going to be at the reunion?
Probably not. I don't think she gets out just because she is a lot older. So I think that she tries to kind of not get out just to keep herself healthy.
Now, some of her kids will, I guess, be there.
Yeah, Deidre. Sorry, y'all.
Who?
Deidre, Daphne, Doris, Donna, and I'm missing one. There was 5 girls and 5 boys. And all
Did
the
you
girls
say Dana then?
I don't think Dina was part of them. I think Dina was.
Oh, she wasn't one of their D's?
Let's see. Where's Dina? Dina might have been. She may have been. Dina and I were actually, Dina and Kathy, which was Linda, our Aunt Linda's daughter, but our Aunt Linda and our mama was about the same age.
Linda was actually...
She was a little older
Yeah.
than our mama, but...
Like a year. if that.
They were super close, and they like when I was born in August, and then Linda's oldest child, Kathy, was born in October, and then it was either Felicia or Dina. I'm trying to think
Y'all were
who it
all
was.
around the same age, if I recall.
Yeah, but I think the picture of me sitting on Papa Davis's lap was me and Dina, I believe. But yeah, we were all right there at the same age. So,
There was about 4 of y'all that was about the same age. 4 or 5.
I think it was 4. Yeah. But anyway, they had babies together, and they were just super close. And
Which, I mean, we should say we live in central Alabama. Mama grew up in Amory, Mississippi, and Grandma, now then was from Pontotoc. I don't know, was Grandpa from Pontotoc?
I think
They were probably all from around Amory, weren't they not?
No, they weren't from Amory. They were
Because
from
a lot
the
of them lived in
Pontotoc.
the Amory area, though, didn't they? Uncle ID,
That's the
Edna?
other side of the family.
Grandpa.
Oh, I thought you said Grandma.
No, I see Grandpa.
I think you said Grandma.
Well, I was saying that
yeah, I
was
think
trying to get at
Grandpa's-
how they may have met. If Grandpa, did Grandpa grow up around Pontotoc?
I really don't know. I think that they probably. I have no idea.
I think that's enough onion.
That is a good question that we never got the answer to.
Which is one reason we're doing these videos now.
We could
To preserve.
we could do a genealogy and figure that out, maybe.
I don't know. If I could figure out where they were born, their birth city, like the census records. But I don't know that we would,
May I chop up another broccoli?
It says a 10-ounce package.
And you're doubling the recipe.
Yeah, those packages are 12 ounce. So,
Not quite a full bag. Yeah. I mean, that bowl, you didn't think we needed that big of a bowl, and I think...
yeah, but the broccoli and the onions is what's going to take up the most room. I think the mix and the other thing. Anyway, like I said, we are, just a reminder, since we've gotten off topic, well, not technically off topic. The recipes are the vehicle, the topic is the stories and the memories.
One of my friends at work calls me Grace.
Where is your phone with the recipe?
It's up against the bread box.
Up against the bread box. Okay. You're gonna have to unlock it so I can see.
It's a C.
It's a C?
Yeah.
Like a big C? Like that. Well, I missed the dot. Okay.
Now, hope Maddie don't watch this and...
You don't know how to unlock your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, we are broccoli, cheese, cornbread.
She didn't even tell you who we were, though.
Who we were?
Yeah.
Are we somebody else now?
No. But this might be the first video that somebody watches.
That's true. That's true. We just tend to get giggly, so we just have to hop in and do something, because if we think about it too much, an introduction or whatever, we're going to get even more giggly. I'm losing my balance for some reason. Okay, she's Cindy, my older sister.
And she's Stacy, my younger sister.
Our mother is Peggy. Our father is Jerry. The family reunion we're going to tomorrow is our maternal grandmother's family. Like I said, our maternal grandmother's name is Josephine. And her mother's
That's not a name you hear much anymore. But I have heard it recently.
Her mother's name was Leela Bell. So anyway, the reason we're making these particular recipes is because, one, I wanted to do, since we're going to the family reunion anyway, why not make something that Mama was kind of one of her specialties and one of Grandma's specialties. So broccoli cheese corn muffins were what one of the things I associate with Mama. One of the few ways I actually eat broccoli. So we don't have any of my mother's recipes because any that she had on slips of paper burned in a fire that took her life. We don't have my grandmother's recipes because one of the people that was kind of helping to stay with my grandmother when her dementia got too bad for her to stay on her own, decided to take my grandmother's recipes so she could, quote, copy them. I'm not sure know if she was going to take them to a copy place and just photocopy them, or if she's going to handwrite them or what, but we never saw the recipes again. And these were like recipes where Grandma had handwritten things down, cut things out of the newspaper, and she kind of had them all in a book, like almost like was it like a photo album kind of?
No, it was actually a notebook.
Okay, yeah, but some of them she had like taped in, like if it was something she had gotten out of a magazine or newspaper, she would had taped them to a page. I just knew they were in she had made her own book.
Yeah.
So anyway, to do any recipes that we would associate with Grandma, and we may eventually do. Like Cindy's got some specialties and I've got some specialties too. We run out of ideas for things, or an occasion arises that calls for one of the things one of our specialties, we would do that instead. But for the most part, to do anything that we associate with our parents, grandparents, we're going to have to use Google or look through recipe books to try to figure out the closest match. And there may be times where we have to make the same thing more than once, trying different recipes to see if we end up with the closest match we can to what would be what we recall a family member making. But anyway, back to this particular recipe. We have the oven preheated to 375. I found this recipe on allrecipes.com. Like I said, we are new at this. This is only our second time doing this. I will try to put a link in the video as I post it this time, if I can figure out how to do that. This says to grease a 9 by 13 inch baking dish, which, when I'm from the South, I ain't never baked cornbread in a 9 by 13 baking dish. We use iron skillets. Now, I did try broccoli cheese cornbread. I can't remember if I had Mama's recipe at that point, or if I was using, one I found. And I tried just, instead of making it into the muffins, I made it in my iron skillet. Mm-hmm. I just didn't I don't know, I guess it's something about how the crust wasn't on every single bite like you get when you get a muffin.
Yeah.
It just tasted different to me. It didn't set up. Or maybe I tried to cheat. Because this is one of the only times you will ever see me use a box cornbread mix. Because I don't like them. But you have to have it for this.
Good old Jiffy.
But I've never bought a box or a pouch. I always just use my own cornmeal and everything like that. But this recipe is the only thing I will use this for.
Some of this broccoli don't look too good. I'm cutting the pieces off that don't look good.
Okay. But anyway,
that's a lot of broccoli.
It is. And we don't put the rest in the bowl yet.
Okay.
Because we may modify, you know, there again. If you watched our last video, we talked about how usually the first time we try to make something by the recipe, but we are not above modifying, and we may modify. Technically, this would not be our first time to make this recipe, so we can modify.
Probably.
If we want to not follow those rules. So anyway, this, again, this says greasy 9 by 13 dish. Not doing it. We're going to do muffins. That's the way I remember Mama making it, and like I said, even with using an iron skillet instead, I didn't like the way it came out as just a whole pan of cornbread cut into pieces. So we're gonna make muffins to be like Mama's, and two, they'll travel better for a family reunion.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And put them in my new Pampered Chef Pixelated thing.
Well, I don't think they'll need it, but we can.
They might not fit though.
They might not. I don't know. You know, we'll see. That's another bridge to cross. So anyway, according to this recipe found on allrecipes.com, we preheat the oven. Cindy has pre-sprayed the muffin tin, and once again, I'm cracking up because once again you've started stuff in the main bowl.
And I didn't need to.
No. Because this is beat together eggs, cottage cheese, and melted butter in a large bowl, and then stir in the cornbread mix.
I got plenty of bowls because I got new bowls today, so we're good.
So
we'll do it in.
just did a smaller bowl to transfer this broccoli into to start with. That's still probably way too big.
You think?
Yeah. This broccoli.
No, just put it in here.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay, and I'm not sure that it matters in the grand scheme of things, but
You want to wipe it out?
nah. I mean, we're gonna end up putting broccoli in there eventually. It's just the okay. So we're doubling the recipe just because I don't know how many muffins we're gonna end up getting. So
It should tell you.
but see, this is for a pan.
Oh.
I would say a dozen, maybe more.
Yeah.
I would say at least a dozen, but anyway, okay. So since we're doubling, the recipe calls for 4 eggs, so we'll use 8.
You need a fork? Or you want my new whisk?
Well,
I just had a Pampered Chef party, y'all. So I'm like, you
she
want my new this? You want
happened
my
to
new that? It just arrived today.
it happened to arrive today, so she's got all new playthings. I'm gonna set this over here because we don't.
You gotta whisk it, right?
Yeah, I think eventually we're not gonna be able to whisk it though, so it's just a matter of you want to get that dirty and then have to get something else dirty. Because you can't really whisk once we put the onions and the broccoli in.
Okay.
So anyway,
You just want a big spoon, or what do you want? Fork?
Fork's fine. So we're gonna do 8 eggs. What else comes to mind?
With eggs? Oh, we already told the story, didn't we? I thought we told this story last week.
What
last
story?
You talking
Oh,
about?
no, I'm not talking about that.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what else comes.
Oh, for like Mama and all them.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there's the Mr. George
Oh,
story.
yeah.
And don't really quite remember exactly.
The whole scenario.
All I remember about the actual story is because Grandma would tell stories like over and over and over again. Or did Mama tell that story?
I remember Mama telling us about it, but I'm sure she heard it from Grandma.
Well, but yeah. So when we would ever go on to our family reunions and all that, we would all ride with Mama no matter like whatever. Even when we were teenagers or when we were married, probably we would still ride with Mama. So anyway, she would take us to all these places that she went as a kid along the way, and she would tell us stories about these. And so there was one time where she told this story, and I want to say it was about probably either my grandma getting married or one of her sisters getting married. I'm not 100% certain. But all I remember of the whole story is...
Hang on.
Okay.
One thing I'll say, if I'm recalling, and you may not may recall this, as far as I recall, the story went, Grandpa, our grandmother's husband, Mama's daddy,
I thought it was somebody else.
Was there? No, now he's not the one that said that.
Okay.
But came up and said something that led to the infamous comment that's coming.
So there was apparently a fire in the woods, and this person that we can't remember who said it, but this person said, and this is we will just randomly say this sometimes for some reason, said, "What happened? Mr. George gets so mad he set the woods on fire." That's one of our favorite stories from going to family reunions. Don't know why, but it is. So there's that one. We've already told about the 5 generations. Oh, there is one that you were not around for.
Was I not born yet, or
no,
I just didn't happen to be there?
It was when Mama was in her Alzheimer's, and Grandma was going to stay with her, and it was after Thanksgiving, and I stayed with Grandma. Y'all had went on home.
That's unusual.
Well, y'all did. Because we went to Mama's house, and Grandma carried a turkey, a leftover turkey. And that's when the first time I ever had turkey salad. And Grandma had this grinder thing. And she ended up giving it to me years later, although it was missing a piece. So I'm probably still have it up in my cabinet, missing a piece, so I was never able to use it. But Grandma would put the turkey into the grinder, and she would grind it up. And she made it with turkey, mayo, and sweet pickles. And it was so good.
Did she put boiled eggs in it?
I don't think she did, but she may have. I can't remember.
Maybe sometimes she did, sometimes she didn't. You can't remember that specific time.
Correct. So, but yeah.
Just wondering, it seems like something she would have put in.
So anyway, that was another thing that I did. Oh, I know one thing. Mama lived on our Uncle Pete's property.
Was it his?
Yeah, it was his. He had the house right there, and then her trailer was right there.
But didn't Marie and them live there too?
And Marie and them lived way on down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Uncle Pete and Aunt Leona lived in the house right here, and they had a garden. And then Mama had this trailer, which had one of those, which now I know what they are, but back then it scared me to death. Big old silver propane gas cylinder things. And so I would always get scared. But anyway, Mama, were at her house, she had, you remember the red dirt hill?
Oh yeah, I remember running clothes on that.
Mama lived on a red dirt road, and which I think they've paved it now. But
see, it wasn't just red dirt. It was red dirt, but almost with like river rock, like smooth gravel, not like rough gravel, and not like pea gravel. They were bigger rocks, kind of that would like embed themselves in the dirt when it would rain.
Yeah. So anyway, there was this hill, and there wasn't nothing to do around there except for chase each other around pretty much, or slide down the hill. So every one of us, grandkids of Mama's or great grandkids, whatever, slid down that dirt hill, and Mama would usually put us in our best clothes, and she would get so mad at us because we would ruin our good clothes sliding down that hill.
Well, she put us in our best clothes because these people didn't see us as often
Yeah.
as they all saw each other.
Yeah.
So she wanted us to look cute in our plaid, polyester, half the time homemade outfits. But yeah, we'd slide down the hill and ruin. I mean, we would be filthy. Our clothes would be filthy. But I mean, oh, one more
Did
thing.
he bring the boy in?
I don't
I
know.
just thought about that.
Surely.
I better go check.
Okay. Well, this is again the recipe calls for 1 cup of cottage cheese. I don't recall Mama saying anything about cottage cheese in her. That don't mean she didn't have cottage cheese in her. She might have just not told me. So,
You must have him in there for
but one more thing I remember. Oh shoot, you've got this in the wrong way, so it's harder to pull.
Well, I don't know. A lot of times I don't do that. A lot of times it's my partner in crime.
Mama and Linda. Linda was the baby
Of grandma's kids.
of Grandma's siblings.
Mamaw. Yeah, Mama's kids. Yeah, grandma's siblings. Oh, my hair.
And I don't know what the scenario was, but they got upset. They got her Mama and Linda was doing something. They was probably 13, 14, 15. Maybe, I don't know. But they got mad. And they run off in the woods and they smoked grapevines.
Well, they would always go for a walk.
I'm just talking about they smoked grapevines.
When they would go for a walk, they were actually going to smoke because our mama would not smoke in front of our grandma, but grandma knew she smoked because grandma told me one time, she says, Peggy thinks that I don't know she smokes, but I do. And then our grandpa, she knew that he knew she smoked, but she never
I
knew
think she
that-
would smoke in front of him some, if it was just her and him.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't smoke in front of grandma. Okay, so back to the recipe real quick. We interrupt our story to see about the recipe. Recipe calls for 1 cup of cottage cheese. Again, we're doubling, so put 2 cups in. Let's see. Melted butter. We need melted butter.
I could have been melting it.
You could have been.
Where's the
3/4 of a cup of melted butter, so that's gonna be like a stick and a half.
Did you know you had already left some butter here the last time?
Did not, but
I think it's from the
It's
bridal shower.
it's not yours.
No.
Well, it's gonna be a stick and a half. That's how many sticks is in there?
2.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would probably put all of it in there, but
Well, I can.
and probably better stick closer because
Do what now?
probably better stick closer to the stick and a half. I mean, it don't have to be exact, but I think 2 whole sticks in this scenario might. It probably end up making it take longer to cook. And if we're gonna have to do 2 batches, we really don't need it to take longer to cook.
Yeah, get this show on the road.
I know. Well,
We got to get up early in the morning.
we are almost. I mean, this is the biggest part of this was chopping these onions and broccoli. Once we get this butter melted.
Like on the 4th of July when I couldn't say, what was it? No. Now let me tell you, last week, this is not a memory,
That's okay.
but last week we went to Los Sombreros, the local Mexican place here,
Mm-hmm.
and Brian had gotten him a margarita, and we were leaving from there. Well, he likes that Yacht Rock channel on the Sirius XM, and they had moved the station from where it normally was. So I had found it. Well, we were leaving from there, and he was like, I said, what are you doing? And he was doing something. I don't remember exactly what he was doing. He was doing something. He says, I'm trying to find my rock yacht. And I was like, we were laughing so hard. I had tears rolling down my face.
Yeah.
The margarita might have played a little bit into that. I don't know.
Alright.
Okay. Ain't quite enough.
Yeah, this is just chopping and talking. I will backtrack and say one of the reasons that I had the idea to do these videos is because one, I don't know if Crystal remembers that. I had told Crystal something about maybe writing a memoir. Just write. Maybe, not like a book, not like a biography, just different memories I had. And but then the more I thought about, I think
20 more seconds.
We don't have.
What's that?
I have very few pictures of Mom and Daddy because the pictures I had burned in the fire.
Yep.
There's only one instance of video of them, and that videotape degraded, so there's very little usable footage that we tried to get converted, and even that may not exist anymore because it might be on a computer that we can't get booted up. So I wanted, I would give almost anything to be able to see my mother and daddy moving pictures and hear their voices. And so that got me thinking, Mom and Daddy both died very young, unexpectedly. Daddy was 50, died of a heart attack just a few months after his 50th birthday. Mama was 60 and died in a house fire.
No, she was born 60.
She had just turned 60.
That was 2009.
She turned 60 in 2008.
She was looking forward to 62 because 61 had not been good or something like that.
You are so wrong. 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008.
Yep.
October 2008, she was 60. February of 2009, 4 months later, she died.
Okay.
She was still 60.
Okay. Why do I think she was 62?
Because
I remember her saying she was looking forward to...
Maybe when she was 50 and 51.
No, it wasn't too long before she died because it was when she had found out that she had the thyroid condition.
The Graves' disease.
And she had not had that very long before she died.
No, I mean, she had the treatment like within just a few months before she died.
And that's why.
So it may have been she said 59 wasn't good. She was looking forward to 60. Most people wouldn't have looked forward to 60, but she was looking forward to it.
Yeah,
if she only knew.
What we got to do next?
Okay. Got to scroll back down to the recipe.
No, I wish you didn't have to do that, but it's. I want one of those things. One of those iPad things or whatever. Not necessarily an iPad, but there is something that will read the recipe out to you. I want one of those.
Okay. Beat together eggs, cottage cheese, and melted butter in a large bowl.
You didn't beat them?
What is it together?
Oh, melted butter.
What'd you do with the fork?
I think it's right here.
I used it to dip the cottage cheese because I hadn't done it because I hadn't beat the eggs. So we'll beat this. Ooh, probably should have
while you're doing that, I am going to unload the dishwasher while we do some more talking.
Okay. But anyway, one of the reasons behind me wanting, and I told Cindy, I said, you know, I want us to share some memories, videotape. You know, we're both past the age Daddy was when he died unexpectedly of a heart attack. We got a few, I mean, there was no way to know if or when, you know, there was just no warning of Mama in the house fire. I mean, you could get kind of somewhat warning sign if you have chest pain or know you have high blood pressure or something like that. You could know that, you know, you're at risk for having a heart attack, which, I mean, Daddy had a family history of heart problems.
Well, and he ignored the warning signs. If he was supposed to have went to the doctor,
He did.
he canceled the appointment.
No, he didn't.
Mama said she was mad at him because he canceled the appointment.
I don't remember that. I remember him going saying everything was fine. And that's why he decided to go ahead and retire. And then the last minute, he changed his mind and didn't retire, which turned out to be very fortunate because if he had gone ahead and retired, Mama would not have gotten his...
No, he was supposed to have had a doctor's appointment right before he died.
Oh, well, that may be.
Yeah, he was supposed to go to a cardiologist, I believe.
Probably. And because I remember Mama saying after he died, he was complaining a lot about heartburn.
Yeah.
And saying and blaming it on Mama's cooking, which, I mean, which I will say, I notice the older I get, the more heartburn I get. But, and it's from stuff that I've ate all my life, and it's all of a sudden causing heartburn. So I don't think it was Mom's cooking in that particular instance.
It wasn't.
He was just looking for something.
He didn't want to.
He didn't want to admit that there was a problem.
Well, and that's how most men are. So.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the whole purpose behind. And Cindy was like, when we were going to get together and do our first one, Cindy was like, I don't know if I want to just sit there and talk. Let's do something. So she had the idea of doing, you know, a recipe. And we, you know, we may do craft things and we may do different things. But at the center of it all, the whatever we're doing, craft recipes or whatever, that's not the main goal, the main focus. The main goal is to preserve memories, help each other remember things, because, you know, clearly, as you've seen, we each remember things a little differently, and one of us is right.
Like your birthday.
And one of us is wrong, and one of us is me. No, I'm just kidding. Cindy actually normally has the better memory. But just to preserve our memories, you know, help each other remember, but also be that video and audio record and for our kids and even our grandkids down the road. And we feel like Lauren, Cindy's daughter, and my daughter, Crystal, will probably be the ones most likely to value this. But I think the boys, you know, Alan and Joshua and Michael. Alan, Joshua's Cindy's sons and Michael's mine. Excuse me. I just got a little tickle in my throat. Maybe all this onion fumes. I think they will. They might not appreciate it at all now, but they may appreciate it, you know, once we pass on, that may be. So I wanted it to be something that no matter who changed phones, I didn't want it to be anything that was stuck on a phone, stuck on a computer. Wanted it to be something that's freely accessible to anybody, anywhere. When the thought popped in their mind, they wanted to see their mama. Yeah, basically, yeah, if we gave birth to them. But anyway, back to the recipe. Gotta unlock your phone again. Don't look, Maddie. Yep. My code does not work on your phone. Okay. So we, in a large bowl, stir until well combined. Then it says stir in cornbread mix until just moistened. So we have 4 of these because each recipe. There's one more still over there by the. I don't know why I only brought 3 over when I was bringing them.
Well, you could fit in your hand at the time.
Well, if I could fit 3, I don't know why I couldn't fit 4. So that's 1 ringy dingy. I'm also going to try my hand when I get ready to upload this. And we'll see if it works. I'm going to try, there's some like tags that you get. It gave me the option and I was like, last one I was just trying to hurry up and get it.
Shoot.
What'd you do?
I can't get it open.
I just pulled mine apart.
Well, I don't have no strength in my hands. I haven't had no strength in my hands in probably 15 years.
Yeah, but these are super easy.
It don't matter. I've had to open lettuce bags for a long time with scissors and
Okay,
we might need a bigger bowl.
did we bury our fork?
Well, I don't know.
I think we buried our fork. Yep, here it is. It says, stir in cornbread mix until just moistened. I hope we don't need a bigger bowl.
I'm thinking we're gonna have to.
Because then she's right.
I'm gonna go ahead and get a bigger bowl because I know I'm right. This is the biggest bowl I got, so if it ain't big enough, then I'm just gonna go ahead and put the broccoli in one and this.
Stop.
No.
I don't know how much we're good. I want to mix it in gradually because I don't know how much of the broccoli we're actually going to use. And I just kind of want to go by what it looks like. So if you're insistent, we use that bowl. I'd rather pour that in and then gradually add the broccoli in. Because we still got to add broccoli, cheese, and
You
onions.
ain't gonna have enough room in that bowl for all that.
Okay,
so.
well. Here, I'll hold it up and you pour in.
Oh, you didn't get it all moistened even.
Well, if that'd be alright.
I'm thinking we should have a spoon instead of fork.
Okay, that's fine. I just knew a whisk wasn't going to work the whole way through. I was trying to avoid a dish. A spatula might work better.
Grab a spoon. I got some big spoons.
I was thinking scraper or spatula.
I got one up somewhere. I think it's a Pauladine, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's actually a Pauladine.
Yep, it says Pauladine on it.
I think it's all moistened now.
Nope, sorry. These last little bits in. Yeah, Aurora likes to sometimes watch cooking shows.
Everybody knows too.
But, she says, I want you to watch Hey, I'm Holidine.
Holla.
Hey, I'm Holidine. But she doesn't say Holidine. She'll say, she says, I want you to watch Hey, I'm Holidine. Like, Hey, I'm Holidine's the name of the show, and she just can't pronounce it right. Okay, so then we fold in broccoli and onions, and we're going to add just like part of this, because I've gotten better in my age about onions, but still, they're not like, I've always liked the flavor of onions, but like, unless an onion is cooked to death, I really am not a fan.
Like you're using almost all of it anyway. Why don't you just
Yeah.
throw the rest of it
I
in
might as
there?
well.
I mean.
But I didn't use the whole onion.
Alright, you want to go ahead and start stirring it, or you want to go ahead and put some broccoli in?
Go ahead and put some broccoli. It says, oh shoot, your recipe. I keep trying to use my.
Well, we could change it to the.
This is folded broccoli, onion,
Now, where's
and
the
1
spoon?
cup
Did
of
we
cheddar
not get a
cheese.
spoon?
No, I got the spatula. Here. And 1 cup of cheddar cheese, which means we'll do 2. And there is 4 in here, and you know, I ain't gonna measure this. Cheddar cheese is one of the things you measure with love. Cheddar cheese, bacon, garlic. Let's see, this is
I'm thinking we should have went ahead and done that other half a cup of.
4 cups. I'm gonna have to put a little bit more. Let's see. Broccoli, onion, cup of cheddar cheese, pour into prepared baking dish. Sprinkle remaining half cup of. Oh, we're supposed to put some cheddar cheese on top. Good thing we got a little bit left.
Oh, I wouldn't put it on the top.
I mean, we probably don't need to since I added extra on the inside. But yeah, once that's kind of well mixed, it's ready to go in the oven.
Do you think we got enough broccoli?
I mean, we probably need a little more. I just didn't want to like overdo the broccoli. You want me to stir it?
It's pretty thick. I'm thinking we might need to put that other little piece of
Butter?
Yeah, but it's in the refrigerator. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta think the cheese is gonna melt and release its fat. I don't know what the cottage cheese part, the fat from it, which is low fat. It's like only 2%, so it's not gonna have a whole lot. But let me make sure we weren't supposed to like add the ingredients for the Jiffy.
Do what?
Nope. I thought maybe we were supposed to like mix up the cornbread as if we were making it by the box of directions and then add off of that. I think it'll be fine. Do you want a little more broccoli or no?
No, I think it looks like it's enough.
Okay. Well, we can spoon that in and we can get started on the strawberry pies.
I'm just gonna toss this.
What?
That chocolate broccoli.
Mm.
Go ahead and start loading the dishwasher while you right, put the rest of the dishes up.
Okay, so I'm just spilling these. They're gonna likely spill over a little bit when they rise, but that'll be okay too. We'll make up like 2 dozen, 1 dozen, and then bake another dozen. If we have any left, we'll just save it and bake them when we get back tomorrow. And freeze them or whatever.
I'm thinking about, I got a Mississippi pot roast in the freezer. It's already cooked. I'm thinking about heating that up tomorrow for supper once we get back.
Well, if we have good enough food, I probably won't need dinner.
Well, we might not.
Might not need dinner, might not have good food.
No, it might not. Need some. But if we do, I got a plan.
But I'll tell you, as far as this family, I'm sure some of these people that'll be there came to Grandma's funeral.
Oh, all of them, probably most all of them, I would say. Because when I went to Annie Ray's funeral and Linda's funeral, they were all there.
Yeah, I hate I missed those. But I mean, anybody that came to Mama's funeral that didn't come to Grandma's funeral,
Are you asking?
I'm not asking for a attendance sheet. No, no, I'm just saying, unless they came to Grandma's funeral, I did, and I don't really remember talking to that many people at Grandma's funeral.
Well, we sang at Grandma's funeral, and we were kind of nervous and upset. Of course, I mean, we were Mama's too.
Yeah, but some of these people, like I said, I have not seen since Mama. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen since Mama's funeral. Okay. So they're gonna.
Teresa came to Grandma's funeral, and Helena, her daughter. And of course, Brenda, I'm sure came. Bobby, I'm sure came.
Okay, this is bake it preheated oven until a toothpick inserted in center comes up clean. 35 to 40 minutes. Well, it's not going to take 35 to 40 minutes because these are muffins, not a big old pan of cornbread.
Okay.
So I'm going to say we check it after 20.
I would say 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
If I don't burn myself while pushing in. Timer 15. Start. Okay. Okay, now we're going to move on to strawberry pies, which will not take long to get everything prepared for them.
Hopefully by the time they're done.
Oh,
muffins will be done.
oh, we'll be done with the strawberry pie stuff before those get done.
Okay.
Because we pre-baked the pie crust,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
I don't do a lot of pies, or in fact, I'm not really a pie person as far as eating them, so I never really got that much into making them. But three things. There's 3 ways. Like if you're not making your own. I guess even if you are, your pie crust either needs to be raw, uncooked for certain kinds of pies, partially cooked for some kinds of pies, and fully cooked for other kinds of pies. This particular kind of pie, it needs to be fully cooked because it does not go back in the oven. We're going to mix up, we're going to cut up some fresh strawberries. We're going to mix up a gelatiny, sugary mixture syrup that's going to be poured over the strawberries and the pie shells. And then it gets refrigerated until it's set. And then you top it with whipped cream when you're ready to serve it. Or cool it, not whipped cream technically, but I guess you did.
What did I ask you?
Mm-hmm.
You need a pan?
Yes, I do.
Big pan or like a what? Where's my pen? I guess everybody just thought I'm resting my rear.
I don't know that they could see
This
it at the
size
angle.
pan?
Let me look at the ingredients.
You have onion on my phone.
Well, I'm done with your phone now. Let's see. 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water. 2 cups of water is the biggest, and so if that's maybe 3 cups. If it holds 3 cups, it should be enough.
3 cups? I don't know.
Does it say on here?
Here,
It's a 2 quart. It'll be fine.
use that.
Okay, so like I said, we pre-baked the pie shells. So once we make up our liquidy or stuff, we will just pour you in. When you get through, if you get through with that before I get through with the glazy, saucy, gelatiny, whatever we want to call it, you will like wash in half the strawberries.
Oh, okay.
But you don't have to do that now. Okay, so
I'm done.
we have
I'll put them in a bowl.
we have pre-baked the pie crust. Like I said, this recipe is, if I'm not mistaken, is the closest I know of. I personally know up to what would have been Grandma's strawberry pies that she made, and this is from this cookbook, Calling All Cooks. I did not realize, my daughter and I were discussing this the other day, this is like an Alabama, it's only the Alabama chapter of the Telephone Pioneers of America. Alabama chapters made these cookbooks.
Oh, I figured that.
I thought it was like at least a Southeast thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, but they had 4 versions. One was yellow. I think this was the first one. There's a red one, there's a blue one, and a green one. But I've always heard that the yellow one's the best. And then they had one that was kind of a lighter blue called Celebrations or Seasons or something, where that I had it and it wasn't as good. So this is a really good cookbook. So in here we need, I'm gonna wash my hands again one more time.
What's the cornstarch for?
It goes into the gelatin, the syrupy gelatin. It's chicken.
Wash my hands. I thought it was for the other thing.
No, we didn't leave the cornstarch out. I still feel like I may have a little bit of onion lingering on my hands. So I wanted to wash them again. Okay.
You want me to do all these strawberries?
You know what you can do is once you cut
That one's not here.
cut the tops off, and then as you slice them, you can like go ahead and place them in the pie plates.
Oh, okay.
I like
How
to
deep do you need it?
just one layer,
Okay.
and I like the half side up.
What?
I like the halves to be the half side up, not the rounded side up. You slice them in half lengthwise.
Cut the top off though, right?
Yeah, cut the top off.
And then slice them in
Like,
half.
cut the top off, but then cut like down like that, and then this side be on the bottom where the half open side is
Okay.
facing up. I just think they look prettier like that. Not that you're gonna be able to tell once you cover it with Cool Whip, but
I just gotta. I need a different knife.
1.5 cups of sugar. Yes, please don't use the onion knife. So 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm not having to double anything here because this makes 2 pies. This recipe. So I don't have to do math for this recipe, which is good because I can do math when I have to, but I don't like to.
That's not my strong suit.
I don't mind math as much
Well,
as
I do
there's
it all the time now though. It works.
decimal points and dollar signs, but other types of math I'm not a fan of. Okay, sugar, cornstarch. I need 4 tablespoons, so 1.5 cups of sugar, 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. You got measuring spoons?
Should be on that thing.
Oh, on there. Oh, it has the spoons too. Didn't realize. 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. That is a teaspoon. That's easy. Everything but a tablespoon.
The tablespoon ain't on there?
That's 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon,
Well, I wanted you to do some math, so.
teaspoon. Yeah, I know the conversion. I can use.
Tablespoon.
Here it is. It'd take me 12.
There.
12 teaspoons to be 4 tablespoons. So I'd rather I can do that math easily, but I'd rather not have to measure that many times. Okay, so
I didn't do a half.
1, 2, 3, 4. I told you could put them right in the pie shell.
Oh, I know, but this is just easier for me to do.
Got pie shell over here.
Well,
But anyway, okay, so 2 cups of water. Get a measuring here, but I'm gonna mix them, but I have to get the stove. Stir, stir, stir.
I'll take that water cut off.
That's okay, I gotta go back for another cup. I'm gonna take the pan with me this time. Instead of having to try to walk over with it.
You think I should use that strawberry? It's awfully green.
I mean, if there's better ones, then no. It's not gonna take. I mean, you probably got enough strawberries right there already.
I'm going to go ahead and do all of these.
And you could technically do an extra layer if you wanted to. It's here's the cornstarch with. Okay, sugar cornstarch jello. So we need a half package of strawberry jello. I don't know why it's only a half pack.
Alright, I'm going to see what we look like here.
I mean, how do you measure a half of a pack of jello? It's gonna be a guesstimate. Oh man. If I'd have tried to tear that off just before the actual opening, I couldn't have done it. Okay, so we're guesstimating a little extra never hurt anybody, don't guess. Okay, so half package of strawberry jello, teaspoon of lemon juice, I should have asked you if you had lemon juice. I'm having to buy this
I don't know where it is.
whole big old bottle for a
I carried it
teaspoon.
to work the other day because I was running late.
So I needed a teaspoon of lemon juice and I bought this bottle.
Okay, is that enough? Or do you want me to put more? I still gotta do this other one.
You're going to put that in and see what you think. I mean, I think the recipe doesn't call for deep dish crust, but I got deep dish on purpose. Just so it would have plenty of room to add the whipped topping on top. It says red food color and I'm not going to fool with that. This is 2 pints of fresh strawberries. Okay, so you mix this together. And it says you cook it till clear. It doesn't say what temperature. But we got the cornstarch in here, the sugar, the jello. I mean, it's obviously not going to be clear because there's a tint to it. But yeah, we're going. It doesn't take long, I don't think. If I recall, it's been like a lot of years. I need to get a spoon or a suitable utensil for this. What would you like me to stir with? Okay.
Alright, I gotta cut up some more strawberries.
Oh, yeah. My guesstimation should sure ain't good on anything today. This, if you see, certainly can't there. This is, if I could get, see, it's cloudy, kind of red. And we're going for clear red.
I'm not gonna use them. Those don't look good. I'll get some of these.
Cloudy red. And yeah, in everything, remember, we are not professionals. We just want to share memories and recall some things. A lot of our family memories will either revolve around cooking
We're singing.
or singing. Yeah, I was thinking about the singing. And just stories.
Used to, this has got nothing to do with the family reunion, but it does have to do with the singing.
It's okay. It's as long as it's a memory.
We used to,
Who's we? What are you?
me, you, Mama, Daddy, Lauren.
Oh, okay.
On Saturday nights, there was a show on the radio called the Dixie Gospel Caravan.
That's funny when you say that's a show on the radio, because nobody listens to radio anymore. But when you say it, it makes me think of like the Waltons or whatever sitting around the radio listening to TV shows. Well, what would eventually become TV shows, but it sounds like such olden days sitting around listening to the radio.
Well, people do listen to the radio. I listen to the radio. I
But
listen
not
to
many
Rick and
people.
Bubba.
Most people,
Yeah,
maybe another 3 minutes.
I'd say 5. I don't know if I'd fill them that full next time.
Yeah. Probably not, but hey. Okay, timer. 5. Start. Okay. But yeah, I know where you're going, so you can continue. It's just, I don't.
We would listen to the Dixie Gospel Caravan, and we would all sing together. We actually had the privilege of singing together several times at the church we attended, and we actually sang one time a song that was sung at our papa on our daddy's side's funeral, which was "I'm Bound for That City."
See, I don't remember us doing that.
You don't?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was me, you, Mama, Daddy, and Jeannie Milam. I'm not sure why Jeannie sang with us, but she did.
I don't know either.
But yeah, we sang it.
Now that vaguely sounds familiar. Was it one of those nights where we was just
It
having
was
like a...
daytime. It was in the daytime.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the morning service. Yep. What do you want me to do the rest of the strawberries? Go ahead and put them in the refrigerator?
Yeah. Well, do you think there needs to be more?
I think that's plenty, don't you? I filled it in.
But yeah, Dixie Gospel Caravan was on a station here out of Birmingham, Alabama. Called WBJC. They had it weeknights, and Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoons, right?
I don't remember if that was...
That's before they started kind of doing all music, where like...
I don't remember that.
I'm thinking it was a Sunday afternoon too. I'm cooking this on like a medium high heat because it, like I said, it doesn't say. It just says cook. It was it. Let's see, it says, it doesn't say a temperature, it just says cook till clear.
But yeah, do you remember what Lauren's favorite song when she was little was?
Moving up to Glory Land.
She would say, Our daddy had the most beautiful tenor voice.
In fact, that's how Mom and Daddy met. He was singing with a quartet.
I don't know that he sang with them. I think he was just there because Uncle Norman.
No, because this was with this wasn't Uncle Norman's quartet. This was the Aunt Alice.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, this was before Uncle Norman and the Deep South Boys started.
I always thought that was how they met, was because the Deep South Boys went to Trace Road to do a homecoming.
It was Aunt Alice, and I think Daddy was singing with them. I don't know who. I mean, I'm not saying Uncle Norman didn't sing with them too, but it was like the Allen family quartet, and Aunt Alice was there.
Well, we Uncle Paul and Aunt Pernice and.
You know, Daddy at the time, I guess Mama and them were already living in Hueytown. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
In the house that we were always knew.
Mm-hmm.
But Mama was from Mississippi, and anyway, whether Daddy was singing or not, whether whoever's quartet it was or not, Daddy was there for a homecoming that Mama's church was having, and churches don't really do this much anymore, but pretty much back then, all churches had a homecoming once a year, and would have, you know, a potluck dinner, whether it was outside or inside. The main is depends on the church, I guess, and
I'm gonna get a toothpick.
That also would usually have a Southern Gospel quartet that would usually sing one song during the main service, but then after lunch it would be pretty much what we call singing, but it was basically a concert by that quartet, and they would play songs a couple hours. And the whole audience is there with the congregation. They still don't really look brown, do they? I would expect them to look brown.
It's coming out pretty clean. It's a little.
I'd say give it another 3 minutes. So we did 15 minutes, and then 5, so that's 20. So if we did another 3, that's 23. But anyway,
What time it is? Like, we've been doing this for an hour and 23 minutes.
well, we are in the home stretch.
Oh, I can look at my phone and see what time it is.
As soon as this
It's
turns,
already 10:30.
as soon as this turns clear, it gets poured over these pie shells. It goes in the refrigerator. I'll bring this over here. See. Pre-baked pie shells with strawberries, fresh strawberries. As soon as this turns clear, I'm gonna turn it up just a touch because it don't say not to do it on high.
Well, that stove kind of cooks slower anyway. It takes it longer to heat, and it does the heats up and then kind of,
It cycles on and off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as soon as this turns clear, it gets poured over those. They go in the refrigerator for it to set, which is the cornstarch and the gelatin, the half
Are you
packet.
putting them in the freezer?
I will probably let them set a little bit in the refrigerator, and then before I go to bed, I go to bed late. Before I go to sleep, I'll transfer them to the freezer.
I gotta wash some clothes too.
Yeah, this I was thinking of something else. Anyway, whatever the reason for the homecoming, it was homecoming at the church Mama went to. Daddy was there in some capacity along with or singing with the quartet that came.
Mm-hmm.
Mama was.
She was a senior in high school.
It was. I don't know what time of year they had theirs, but in any rate,
She might have been a junior. I don't know.
well, they were engaged for a year.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I thought she was probably.
But was it the end of Mama's junior year or
Possibly.
sometime in the
They
middle of
must
her
have-
senior?
I do remember that Daddy wrote her letters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to say that they said my dearest Peggy or my darling or something like that.
I can't remember.
But yeah, he wrote her letters, and I'm sure she wrote him letters. And she graduated in
1 week.
the end of May, I think, 1966.
She graduated with and 1 week later, on June the 4th,
Yeah,
they got married.
Yeah.
And Daddy ended up moving to Mississippi for like 6 months before they got married, I think.
I don't remember that.
But anyway,
Okay.
I just wish they were a little browner on top, but if you
I
think
mean,
they're
they're still. I mean, it's coming out like. I don't know.
we got boiling now.
That one's okay. That one's okay. This one, it might be the cheese.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that they're done.
Okay. But anyway, Daddy, I said they got married pretty much 1 week or less than a week after she graduated high school. And she was still 17. She didn't turn 18 until October.
And a little over a year later, I was here.
Yeah, about
A year and 2 months.
14 months later. But what was I going to say? Daddy bought Mama a car for a graduation present.
That blue Skylark.
I want to say, was it the Corvair? I
I
remember her talking about a Corvair.
know when I was little, they had the Skylark. The blue car. I think it was a Skylark. I could be wrong.
Anyway,
I'm trying to
So,
figure out something that don't
Daddy
mean
buys
nothing.
her a car for a graduation, a high school graduation present. And then a week later they're married, and Daddy has also bought a house that Mama has not even seen.
Just right down the street from our grandmother.
Mama never even saw that house until they moved in. He also bought a house full of furniture. And I don't think he was working at the post office at that point. That might be. Yeah, I think he worked.
Yeah, I don't think he. Did he work for Pepsi?
I don't think so.
I know where he worked. I know he worked. The only place I ever really remember him working is the post office. I know when I was about 3 or 4 years old, he worked at the post office. I'm not going to tell why I know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know one. Yeah, we're not gonna say that. That.
I think these are stuck.
Let them cool. Run a knife around them.
I just want to go ahead and try another.
Okay, turn
This is the size that they need to be.
Yeah, well. Anyway, we need to find out. We need to talk to Uncle Bob. He's the only one I know of that could tell us the answer to that.
Maybe. He might.
He's the only one. I mean, the only other person. Well, there might be some cousins of his that may know.
Beanie probably would know.
Maybe.
Beanie and
It would have to be a cousin
Beanie
of
and
his
Daddy were really
that was
close.
close to the same age.
Yeah, Beanie and Daddy were really close.
See, we're almost clear, don't you think? You think? And
These
we're
are sticking, even though we sprayed it.
that makes me think they weren't quite ready. But the bottoms look good.
Well, that first one was fine. I mean, yeah, they look fine.
Maybe leave them for a minute.
That was tearing up.
Just leave them for about 5 minutes. See if they'll kind of like release on their own. But yeah, it would have to be a cousin that's close to that. I do remember, and I think this may be where you're getting the coat. When Daddy was taking a test.
Oh, I do know that. The post office test.
And he was using the coat slab to practice sort, because apparently part of there was a written test, but there was also a practical.
He had numbers. He had them numbered.
Yeah, he numbered, but I think they were gonna time him by how fast and how accurate he could do it. So there was like an old wooden.
Why
coat
is there an
slab.
arrow up there now?
Up where?
On the screen.
What screen?
You don't see that purple arrow?
Oh, that's just a cursor.
Okay.
You haven't made a fatal error. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I don't know where he worked in.
I just don't know how he could afford. I mean, granted, things were a lot cheaper, but to put a down payment on a house.
Well, Mama and Papa might have helped.
Now that's possible.
I wouldn't think they would have.
A house full of furniture, which I'm not saying it was.
Maybe he didn't buy it. Maybe they just gave him some.
I don't know.
I remember that first furniture.
With the little bluish green.
Mm-mm.
The couch that had the little scenes on it.
It had scenes, but I thought it was like a terracotta looking.
I don't think so. It was almost like men working on a farm or something. Like very small little scenes.
Yeah, it was
repeated.
more. It was kind of like that. What they call not twal. What is the? I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I remember the lamp too.
Mm-hmm.
The lamp that Mama threw.
Well, we're not gonna get into that today for sure. Okay, I think we are
Oh yeah, I think
clear.
So. I think it's well.
So we're just pouring half in to eat over these strawberries. That's what I was trying to decide. You don't let me splatter you because this is hot. I splattered myself.
Just one right here.
Right where?
Right there. And sticking up.
But yeah, so here's what I was gonna say. This is a long video, y'all. I didn't think it was gonna take this long, but hey, if we didn't talk, we wouldn't have. We could have been through in 30 minutes or so.
I don't know. It took a while, even though we were talking. We were still working, chopping. Alright, you want me to go ahead and put this one in the refrigerator?
Yeah, and I'll scrape out which slice of it. Anyway, I was also thinking that maybe we could like tell some of the family, because I mean, I don't know. I've got a list. I've been making my list of recipes that I think we should do. Like some for Mama, some for. I even put on there. Remember when Daddy made the fudge that time? Well, you weren't there. I don't think you were there. And he the blew up. He was making fudge. Anyway.
No. I do remember.
And there was cocoa powder on the ceiling.
I do remember that part, but I wasn't there. No.
Yeah, I think you and Brian were gone somewhere. Anyway, but I was thinking, it would depend on how, if we run out of memories or run out of recipes, you know, might want to mention to people tomorrow if they have any recipes and stories that we could
Yeah, I thought about that too.
do their family's recipes and story and tell their story
Yeah.
to preserve it. I mean, like I said, well, what I've got listed, and especially now that we're coming up
What
on.
do you think? I mean, they feel done.
Yeah.
They're just tearing up.
With your y'all's strip and the holidays, which we could do some, you know, videos of us making our holiday stuff too.
Did you turn it off?
No.
You're still talking.
I'm still talking. And we can turn it off, I guess. We're not gonna run out real soon. But anyway, I'll show you. This is the pie. Like I said, they go in the refrigerator till they're set. Probably about an hour and a half. I'll probably go back and put them in the freezer just so they will travel better. It's going to take us 2.5 to 3 hours to get to our family reunion. So
Here's a muffin.
if it's a torn up one, you can try it.
It's not a torn up one. It's a nice one.
So what I'm going to do, and I know Grandma used to freeze her strawberry pies. So after they've had a kind of a little hour and a half so to sit in the refrigerator, I'm going to cover them either in plastic wrap or foil. I hadn't decided which. And put them in the freezer to freeze because
They need salt.
they needed salt. It didn't even call for any.
And they're a little dry, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So you might want to add a little more butter after all.
Okay. Well, before we put the rest of the muffins in the oven, we'll add the rest of the butter. You want to go ahead and start melting it up. But anyway, since we do have a travel time, I feel like freezing them, and then just letting them thaw as we travel. And same thing with the Cool Whip that's going to go on top. Because that's how you best serve these, is spread Cool Whip on top and then cut them. But the Cool Whip and the pies can thaw. We freeze them overnight. They can thaw on the way there. I can slap the Cool Whip on when we get there. And they should be tasty. I hope so. Fortunately, it's kind of hard to taste that pie.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it will too. But anyway, we will be back again one day.